We're learning another reason why it's so important to mask up in public. Paul Murphy reports a new study indicates face coverings may protect the wearer from the coronavirus more than originally thought.
Louisiana officials have been preaching for months the importance of wearing a mask.
So let's all mask up and keep Louisiana healthy and strong.
Face coverings are recommended as a simple barrier to help prevent respiratory droplets from traveling into the air and onto other people when the person wearing the mask coughs, sneezes, talks, or raises their voice. According to a new study commissioned by the World Health Organization, a face mask may also give the wearer more protection from the coronavirus than previously thought.
They can reduce that risk. They do capture some of the particles that are spreading through the air that can carry the virus, and they reduce the likelihood that you breathe that virus in.
LSU Health Chief of Community and Population Medicine, Dr. Benjamin Springate, says the new findings add another point of emphasis for why wearing a face covering is so important in slowing community spread of the virus. He added, masks should be required in public spaces.
So this is time for us to recognize that this problem is not going away. We have a role to play. And so mandating masks in settings in which you're going to come into contact with other people makes sense.
Masks must be worn correctly to protect you and others. Make sure your mask fits tightly with no gaps. No touching the mask while it's on your face. Use the ear loops when removing it and clean or dispose of the mask after each use. Health experts admit that wearing a mask isn't the end-all or be-all when it comes to preventing the spread of the virus. They say that social distancing and hand washing are equally as important. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
And today, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, warned that coronavirus cases could grow to 100,000 a day in the U.S. if Americans don't start following public health recommendations. And that includes wearing a face mask.